Good morning and welcome to Nature Watch. Nature Watch is sponsored by Waddell's Nursery, Floral Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. And now your host of Nature Watch, Gary Miller. Good morning. Hey, good morning. We had wind last night. We had a breeze.
Boy, that air just didn't move around very much the last few days.
No.
Occasionally you catch this really slight breeze, and if you're in the shade, it felt actually a little refreshing. I thought we were done with the 80-plus degree temperatures and summer-like.
No.
I think maybe today might be the last 80-degree day. We'll see.
It's possible, but next week is not really a big cool down. We're
a little more seasonable,
in the 70s.
Still, yeah, it's a little more seasonable. And we actually have a potential chance of rain.
What?
Well, that's exactly what I said. So I'm going to be sort of go out on the limb here, and I'm going to tempt Mother Nature. I'm going to believe it when I see it.
Yeah, it's going to interfere with all of the dust outside. That's what's going on.
So we have a chance, looks like about 8, 9 o'clock maybe tonight. We'll have showers rolling in, a chance of those. But they're all going to be scattered. So It's going to be hit and miss. And looking at the radar this morning, and the showers just west of the lake shore, coming from the south, going almost due north, and they come just a little bit east, and they totally disappear.
Well, of course, we discussed that last week. It's called the Kalamazoo Triangle. Yes. But now I kind of made a liar out of myself, because even Storm Team 8 was talking about it all this week, where Kalamazoo is pretty much about average for rainfall. Battle Creek's like 6 inches over average.
They've been wet.
But Grand Rapids and Holland are way under.
Yes, way down there. And so I like tempting Mother Nature that way, because we need the rain.
Yeah, we do. We do.
So the computer model I know Scott Larson had this morning was showing through Tuesday, with a chance of showers tonight and tomorrow, and maybe overnight, Sunday night into Monday, and maybe a little bit Monday. I think Monday was some stray showers. Somebody lost them or so.
I smell a hippy dippy weatherman.
But the model was showing a potential of about half an inch here in Kalamazoo. Not very much, but every little bit's going to count.
Right.
But so I'm going to tempt Mother Nature, prove me wrong, actually bring some rain to us.
Right.
I'm going to believe it when I see it. I don't think we're going to get much. I don't think we're going to get that half inch.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go out on the limb there. And actually, the drought monitor this week. Oh my gosh! We've been pretty stagnant, not much change the last several weeks.
Except right over this area, over the Kalamazoo Triangle, which we claim doesn't get rain. They got rain. They're not really in a drought. They're not.
So the area has exploded this week on the drought monitor as far as areas that are in drought conditions.
Yeah, I saw that.
Actually, in the state of Michigan, in a week's time frame, 25% of the area of the state of Michigan went from no drought condition to abnormally dry or more. 25% of the state. And it's all in the lower peninsula. So about 3/4 of the lower peninsula is in abnormally dry or more serious drought condition. And I saw a meteorologist from Ohio post the entire state of Ohio is in a drought condition of some sort or other.
We could start jokes there, but we won't.
Yeah.
we may have a couple of Ohio listeners streaming us, or actually this signal does kick out into Ohio.
But very, very dry. And so Kalamazoo had been in the northwest corner of Kalamazoo, had been in that abnormally dry. Everything else was in the none category a week ago. We are entirely in the abnormally dry condition. And in that northwest corner, it's in the moderate drought category. So it's really, really changed. And I see that actually the Storm Chasers had shared a post that the National Weather Service office in Grand Rapids had about drought conditions and soil moisture. And if you look at the map of the lower peninsula, there's some, we're down in the first or second percentile for almost the majority of the lower peninsula as far as soil moisture. We're really dry.
Okay.
Really dry.
When we say that, when I say that Kalamazoo and Battle Creek are at normal or above normal, we're not talking about surface. We're talking 4 feet down.
Right.
That's where we have the issue.
I saw somebody post, I remember something, Storm Chasers had shared too, they had a copy of the map from the Drought Monitor website, and they had a big question there, how dry are we? And they had written big to large text across that big area of drought conditions in the southern lower peninsula, said very.
If we get rain this weekend, it's going to interfere with all of our dust. I'm telling you. Steve Ballet is answering phones this morning. He will say good morning when you call 269-382-4280, which you will probably want to do in the next, I'd say 30, 45 seconds. Yeah. We have a trivia question.
So still seeing some birds out there.
Okay.
Still seeing hummingbirds. So keep those hummingbird feeders out there. And I've noticed the flocks of birds have been getting larger. Saw quite a few larger flocks of geese and sandhill cranes out grazing in fields. So, and blackbirds getting larger flocks. And so some neat birds flying through the area. If you check out the Michigan Rare Bird Alert, they have a list of by county.
Okay.
And confirmed or unconfirmed sightings of different birds. Actually, quite a few different unique birds that nest way up in the Arctic Circle have been sighted in southwest Michigan in the last week.
Oh.
Migrating through. So actually, if you have that life bird list, a great chance to go out and see some birds you may not see very often.
Hey, there you go.
And I had to wait for some turkeys across the road this morning. There were some about half-grown turkeys just milling out in the road, just down the road from my house. So I had to slow down and actually wait for them to get out of the way. And it brought to mind, I always have that question, why did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? Why did the turkey cross the road? Well, I could also say to get to the other side, but more likely probably to go visit the chicken.
I'm going home. Steve, you can come in here and run this show. I'm going home. Now, okay, we do have a trivia question.
Yes, we do.
First correct caller to 269-382-4280 that can answer Gary's question correctly will win a $20 gift card to Waddell's. Now, is this a softball? Is it a baseball? Is it a bowling ball? Or is a multi-parter that he's going to break me on?
I think it's a softball.
Okay. Right.
It wasn't as much of a softball as the original one I thought about. So I was actually reading about sandhill cranes because I'm starting to see more of them flock up in the fields.
Okay.
And so my question this morning, because I was actually reading some interesting facts about them, when sandhill crane chicks hatch, and they're also called colts, how old are they when they leave the nest?
Ooh.
Sort of. If you think about it and think of those adult sandhill cranes that range in size from 6 to maybe as much as 12 pounds. Most of them are more of that 8-9 pounds max.
Okay.
And you get those little fluffs of downy small sandhill crane that just hatch out of their eggs. How soon do they leave the nest?
269-382-4280. First correct answer will win a gift card.
And I think it's sort of a softball. They'll be able to find it quite a few different websites. We had pretty well same information. But
okay.
It was an interesting fact. I just thought it was quite interesting. With this cooler temperatures this next week, maybe we'll see more bird activity. We're still sort of in the low migration category here in Michigan, looking at the birdcast migration maps. Overall in the lower 48 of the U.S., last night, tonight, tomorrow night, Monday, we're in that 210, 12 million, up to maybe 280 some million birds at any time at night. But that's over across the entire area. And this area over Kalamazoo County is on the low side. So it's, so there's still birds flying. If you can, turn off those lights at night. Make sure you got food out in your feeders for those birds coming through. They need that energy.
Okay, there you go. John joins us this morning. I think he may have an answer. Good morning, John.
I do.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The sandhill cranes are 1 day old when they leave the nest.
So it's somewhat technically correct, but I'm going to actually go a little more. I'm going to go down to the hour. Do you have an hour just because you had the guess here? Or roughly hour? Because they're actually less than that.
You're turning the softball into a bowling ball, sir.
Well, I'll go halfway, 12 hours.
I'm going to give you, just because you're in that first day. So they typically in that less than a day, they leave the nest. They can leave the nest as young as 8 hours old. So if you think about this little fluff ball of down that just hatched out of an egg, and the eggs aren't that big, and they're following mom and dad out around they can actually walk and they can actually swim at that age.
Wow.
Which seems surprising. You don't think of sandhill cranes being as aquatic of an animal as like the blue herons or so, but they are. They will. They eat a lot of frogs and insects around and plant material around bodies of water, and that swimming is really important for those young sandhill cranes because that's sometimes a good chance of them having some protection from predators.
Huh.
So I thought it was very interesting. 8 hours at 8 hours old, they can leave the nest and follow mom and dad around. That's
wild.
pretty unusual. So
okay, there you go, John. You are our big winner. $20 gift card for to Waddell's. And can you hold on the line for a moment? I'm going to send you back to Steve. He's going to get some information from you and let you know how to pick up the tickets. Or the gift cards.
The tickets.
The tickets, gift cards.
You're thinking baseball game
gift
or something
cards.
here.
You know, okay, yeah. Thanks, John. Okay, yep, Tigers, get with it. Okay, more Nature Watch on the way next on WKZO.
Waddell's has been the Kalamazoo area's bird feeding headquarters for 79 years. Waddell's carries 16 different varieties of the best quality bird seed around. And because of the large volume they buy, they can offer you the best prices. Thistle seed is the favorite of beautiful bright yellow and purple finches. This week, save $2.50 on the 10-pound bag of thistle seed, now on sale for $16.98. A favorite of Cardinals is safflower seed, sale priced at only $1.48 per pound. Suet is a favorite of many birds, including woodpeckers. This week, the case of 8 woodpecker suet cakes is on sale for just $13.98. Or get cherry punch or apple snack suet cakes on sale for $1.48 each. Waddell's also has a great selection of bird baths, bird houses, and more. Call Waddell's at 345-1195 to place your bird feed order and take advantage of curbside pickup service, or visit their birding experts in-store located on Texas Drive at the corner of Millam and 12th Street.
I like that it's local.
More Kalamazoo area local news than ever before.
I like that it's local.
On 590 and 106.9 FM.
I like the local news.
WKZO.
John scored himself a gift card on Nature Watch as we roll on. Your phone calls are welcome at 269-382-4280. Or you can text any comments, questions, etc. to 80373. Here is Gary Miller.
Yes. So if you're seeing any unusual birds or maybe some unusual wildlife activity in your yard, give us a call.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from you.
Absolutely.
There's all sorts of things going on. I'm guessing the squirrels are quite busy starting to hide all those walnuts and hickories and everything else, trying to have that winter store of food.
Right.
It's going to take a lot more of them this year. I've noticed the black walnuts are very small. With the green husk on, they're not much bigger than at least a lot of them I've seen. I have seen some bigger ones, more normal size, but not very many. Most of them are about just a little bit bigger than a ping pong ball with the green husk on.
You know, I'm going to defer for a minute. I'm still amazed that we went all week and there was hardly any wind at all.
Yeah, it was very calm.
It was
very calm, which made it seem extra warm because it was up in the 80s, and that sun seemed. I think the angle of the sun seems like it's more intensified now.
It wasn't really bad until yesterday afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And there was a little bit of humidity in the air and sweat pouring down my face.
And we have a little more of that today too, because it's going to be in the 80s, a little more higher humidity. But that's, and I will tell you, my joints are aching a little bit, so I know we're going to have a weather change. So Mother Nature, make my joints ache more and bring some more rain. Yeah. We need it.
Hey, it's a good day to go to Canadiana Fest.
Yes,
I'm going to go.
And actually, today is National Cleanup Day and International Coastal Cleanup Day. So it's a good day to pick up all that garbage you see, or any garbage you see, especially plastics. And I found some information about that. I thought this was very interesting. It's been estimated that there are over 50,000 pieces of plastic for every square mile in the ocean.
Really?
50,000 pieces.
Wow.
Every day, over 8 million pieces of plastic end up in oceans. Over 12 million tons of plastic each year. Now think of that. Plastic isn't heavy. That's a lot of plastic.
Yeah.
They've even researchers have even found microplastics embedded in Arctic ice. So it's made it all the way up to the Arctic Circle and embedded in ice. In the UK, they've actually typically have found 5,000 pieces of marine plastic pollution per mile of beach. So that's basically a piece of plastic every foot. That's just unbelievable. So make sure you recycle those plastics. If you can use something else, or use reusable containers or so.
That's preferred, but at least throw it away.
Yeah,
throw them away. At the very least, if you can recycle, cool, do that. But
so they're estimating there's over 5 trillion pieces of plastic in the world's oceans. 70% of that approximately sinks into the ocean's ecosystem. About 15% lands on beaches, and the other 15% floats just around the ocean. So as the plastic decomposes over hundreds of years, it breaks into smaller and smaller particles that end up spreading all over the planet. So except for incinerated plastics, those that were burned, all the plastics we've produced are still on the planet in some form. So think about that when you're, get a reusable water bottle and use that instead of buying those plastic bottles of water.
Let's check the text at 80373. Dean in Allegan is checking in this morning. He has a couple of questions. First, how long does it take for a turtle egg to hatch? Secondly, I'm going to do a two-parter on you, or actually he's doing it. He's doing it. Secondly, can they climb over a retaining wall like a 10 or 12 inch, snapping turtle? Could they climb over a retaining wall?
They can go over it and go down on the downside of the retaining wall, but going over the top of it, they're actually pretty adaptable. They're most likely going to try to find a way around it. That 10 or 12 inches is going to be, for a smaller turtle, is going to be, that 10 or 12 inch size turtle is going to be a little bit of a challenge, or quite a bit of a challenge for them.
There you go, Dean.
They might be able to.
Thanks for the text.
And as far as how long it takes them to hatch, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe I have to look that up and report back next week.
Yeah.
Because it's going to depend on turtle species. Big snapping turtles, that foot-high retaining wall isn't going to be a challenge at all. And I say big snapping turtles. I've seen, especially snapping turtles. I've seen snapping turtles that are 3 foot diameter on the shell.
Huh.
Their necks and heads are so big that when you see them, you want to make sure you don't have any limbs that are close, because that's not losing a finger; it's losing an arm or a leg.
Right.
Just big snapping turtles. There's other turtles that get large too, but the snappers are some of the biggest that we see in this area, and they I've seen them up in the Upper Peninsula too. That quite that large. So it's just watch those turtles. If you know where a turtle is, laid some eggs in a nest, if you can put something around it to protect it, because typically the predators, most likely raccoons, come up and will dig up all those and eat all those eggs, and then we have no little turtles coming out. So if you see a turtle laying eggs in the soil, after they get done laying the eggs, see if you can mark it and then protect it somehow so the predators don't get it.
Okay.
It's nice seeing those little turtles. I mean, they're really cute. Not much bigger than a quarter, maybe $half size or so, and they hatch out, and they trying to get back to a body of water, because they're a lot safer in the body of water than they are on land. So it's but they are cute little guys.
Yeah, there you go.
And gals.
There you go.
So coming up, we have some neat events coming up. Next weekend, Waddell's has their annual Kids Days and Petting Zoo. Big hit, one of our most asked about events. Got hay rides, you got big mountain of straw for them to climb up on, a slide to slide down on a bin of corn, shelled corn. It's actually, the kids have a blast. I'm sure every kid takes a little sampling of corn home in their shoes, and I'm sure mom and dad appreciate that, but it's fun.
There you go.
I've got all sorts of animals there that can pet. They're going to have some animals that you can actually adopt. There's some kittens in that, so one of the rescue groups. And so that runs on next Friday and Saturday. Friday is 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and Saturday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And for kids age 1 to 15, tickets are $6.50 each per child. Everybody else is free. Huh. And and some of the animals that they're going to have are going to have donkey, goats, rabbits, alpacas, chickens, pigs, and more. And I believe mostly the Forgotten Souls Rehab is going to have kittens available for adoption. So,
all right, yeah.
Take a little kitty home.
I wish I could.
So that runs next weekend, and it's always a big event. We get hundreds and hundreds of people for that. Kids love it. It's a blast.
Oh, good.
So look, typically we have pretty good weather for it. So it's usually some sunshine, maybe a little bit cooler temperatures, or we've had some warm ones too.
Right.
And this next week we actually officially turn to autumn.
Yep.
On Tuesday, on the 22nd.
Actually Monday.
Or Monday.
Yeah, Monday at 2:14 p.m. 2:19 p.m.
2:19 p.m.
Okay, I was closer than you. You said Tuesday.
Well, that's and actually, I was looking at the sunrise times on the 25th this next week. It's the last day of this calendar year that we have more than 12 hours between sunrise and sunset.
It's kind of it's a little bit off from.
It is a little bit off from the.
But there you go. So technically, we are getting a couple extra days of 12-hour.
Yeah, so this has usually been called, like the autumnal equinox. It's been actually, they've changed it more to the September equinox because if you're in the southern hemisphere, this is the first day of spring. Mm-hmm. And so they've been changing that.
Do you remember?
Yes.
That's tomorrow, kids.
Yes. Some other neat events coming up. The Audubon Society has their first meeting kicking off the winter reading series on Monday. So you can go out and celebrate the first day of autumn. They're going to have Donna Passant. I mentioned that. She's the director of Birding by Ear and Beyond at the University of Michigan Dearborn. And so that's actually the title of her talk, Birding by Ear and Beyond.
Oh.
And so she is actually blind. And so she will have all sorts of ways to enjoy nature without using your sight sense, which I think is pretty interesting. Yeah. And they actually are encouraging all ages to come, especially kids even. So, good chance for kids to use some of those other senses besides sight for enjoying nature. Just closing your eyes and listening to all the sounds out there. On Wednesday, Kalamazoo Area Wild Ones has their first meeting of the fall also at the Portage District Library. They're going to have Sarah Hoodman, and I apologize, Sarah, if I mispronounce your name, from the Barry Calhoun Kalamazoo SISMA, the Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area. Oh. And she is going to be talking about managing invasive plants in the fall. So some fun things. Next Saturday, so after you enjoy the petting zoo at Waddell's, the Nature Center, Kalamazoo Nature Center, has a free admission day.
Yeah.
So that's in honor of National Public Lands Day. And also, next Saturday is International Astronomy Day. And lo and behold, they have a partner program with the Kalamazoo Astronomical Society. So starting at 8 p.m. next Saturday, if the clouds permit, or lack of clouds permit, the highlight's going to be the Great Square, an asterism of 4 stars from the constellations Andromeda and Pegasus. And so those will be some neat events to see and actually go to this next weekend. Looks like the first day of fall autumn might be sort of seasonal, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit on the warm side, but
that's fine.
Hopefully it has some rain with it too. That'd be a nice celebration of the first day of autumn. Bring some rain.
Do your rain dance, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Start doing rain dances.
We need to get this. We need to get the ground saturated. We need a good 2-day soaker.
Well, we had that really slow drizzle a week ago. And,
that's not a soaker, though. That's just drizzle.
It needed to be raining a little bit harder, but that actually needs to happen for like a week, 24 hours a day, and do that. So actually, there were some DNR and MDART and Eagle press releases. So we can talk about some of those next week. But there is a first case of EHD, the episodic hemorrhagic disease, and that was actually a news report from the state veterinarian, and it's usually a disease that's fatal in white-tailed deer. No evidence that humans get it, but there are some other, anything that's bovine, like cattle and that, can potentially get that. And they also had a detection of West Nile virus. So be careful out there. Make sure you use that.
Yep. I heard that in the news, yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you use that insect repellent, as warm as it is. Yep. And the fire risk. They said there's a big fire risk. Makes our descents as dry as we are. Right. So if we have those winds, make sure you don't have a fire that you lose control of. It spreads really fast. No. As dry as it is, it'll spread even faster.
No kidding. Okay, what's your email?
So actually, naturewatch@waddells.com. So if you see something during the week or have a question, email me, and we'll get back to John about Dean, about the turtle eggs and how long it takes them to hatch.
Yeah, there you go. So Dean, if you want to send that question to naturewatch@waddells.com, Gary will look it up and he'll just give you an answer straight back.
And I'll share it with everybody. Everybody else is going to be curious too.
We'll do that next week.
Or if somebody knows that answer and just save me some research time. No, I like to be doing the research. It's all right. I get lost for hours sometimes. So.
There you go. Thank you, Gary, and thank you for listening to this edition of Nature Watch. Tune in each Saturday morning at 8:30 for Nature Watch. Brought to you by Waddell's Nursery, Floral Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. CBS and local news is up next, and then Andy Waddell with Over the Garden Fence on WKZO.